welcome to this all levels slow flow yoga practice. As we move through our practice today, I just want to remind you that this is your practice, you're in charge. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. It's okay to stretch or challenge yourself some, but you're never going to go into something that feels painful or you just know it's not right for you. If you have them available, you might want to have a block or two and a strap. And if you don't have a strap, you could use a belt or a towel or a necktie. And you might want a blanket or something just to pad your knees when you're on your knees. I use a garden knee pad because it's really easy to move in and out. And if you don't have a towel or a blanket or a knee pad, you could always just double up your mat in the center when you come onto your knees. All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna have you start in constructive rest pose. Laying on the floor, on your back, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, arms comfortably away from your body, palms up. Starting out with two sighs. On your first sigh, let your low back soften. And on the second sigh, let the shoulders melt. And then see if there's any length that you can get out of the back of your neck. From here, just start to notice how your breath is moving your body. You're not worrying about breathing any particular way at this point. You're just letting it flow easily. And feel how your body connects to the floor beneath you, and see if you can grow just a little heavier. Soften your belly and let it rise and fall as you breathe. And as you continue to focus on your breath, expand it. First breathing into the belly and then continue to breathe in, bringing the breath all the way up to your collarbones. And then exhale from the collarbones down to the belly. Breathing through the nose if that's comfortable for you. And we'll take one more breath here. Breathe in and out. After this exhale is complete, take one more sigh. Slide your arms out a little wider. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let your knees fall in one direction, head looks opposite. Inhale, center, exhale to the other side. Keep going with your breath, exhaling as you twist, inhaling as you move out of it. And as you go through these twists, you can experiment with wider feet or narrower feet to change how your twist feels, catering it to what you're needing at this moment. As your legs go to one side this next time, stay there and sigh. And then back through center and over to your other side and sigh again. Bringing legs back to the middle, take a breath in, exhale, hug knees into your chest. Pause there for just a breath or two. And then either go side to side with legs or make circles with your knees going in the same direction. Massaging your low back. And then if you're circling, go the opposite way. As your knees come back into center at the chest, open them apart, circle them around, and bring them back together. Big movements with the legs, getting your hips moving. And then circle the opposite way here. Bringing knees back into center, breathe in. Exhale, reach the legs to the sky. Maybe reach the arms up as well, or you can support the backs of your legs with your hands. Point and flex your feet, move through your wrists. Palms up and then palms down. Spread out the fingers and the toes. And then rotate ankles and wrists. And rotate the opposite way. As you flex your feet, spread your toes out and give your hands a little shake. And then reach back up, press the low back down into the floor, and take a big forceful exhale. As you force that air out, you'll feel the core knit together. So you want to maintain that, which means it's going to send the breath up more into your chest. Press the low back down. You're never going to let it lift up. If you need to, you can bend your knees a little. Breathe in here. Keep that core tight. If you lose it at any point, do another big exhale. On your next exhale, you're going to lower one leg and reach the opposite arm over your head. And then inhale back to your starting point and exhale to the other side. Low back stays anchored to the floor. And again, you can always bend knees if you're needing to. Exhale as the leg lowers. Inhale as you bring it back up. One more on each side. As the arms and legs reach back up, reach either behind knees, somewhere along the calf, or to the foot. Open knees out. Keep the feet stacked over your knees if you're able to. If not, you can let them bend a little more. Maybe rock here in happy baby. Back to center for a breath. Breathe in and out. And then reach arms and legs back up towards the ceiling. And now you're just going to do a kicking bug. So you're just going to shake the arms and the legs. Good. And then bring these back into your chest. Take a sigh here. Bring the feet to the floor. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms facing up, shoulders pressing down. Inhale. On your next exhale, roll yourself up, starting with your tailbone, lifting one bone at a time into bridge pose. Shoulder blades are pressing down and working towards each other. You can keep arms long. You could clasp hands, or you might bend elbows, fingertips pointing to the ceiling, upper arms pressing down. Couple of deeper breaths here. On your next inhale, roll up onto your toes. Exhale, roll the spine back down to the floor. One knee comes into your chest. The other foot can stay on the floor, or you could lengthen that leg all the way out. The knee you're holding, hold it in tight and breathe. Place that foot to the floor, bring the other knee into your chest. Once you have a hold of the knee, the other leg might lengthen again. Hold your one knee in tight and breathe here. Releasing the leg you're holding, both legs reach out along the floor, arms come over your head. Inhale for a full big body stretch. Exhale, soften into the floor. Inhale, stretch one side, arm and leg. The other side stays relaxed and release. Inhale to the other side. Let it go, and then inhale both arms and legs at the same time. And exhale, relax. Walk your feet back into the floor. Take a breath in, exhale, knees to your chest, and rock side to side again. After that, roll all the way over to one side and bring yourself up to a seated position. So if you need to, you can always sit up on something so that your hips are a little more elevated. If sitting cross-legged doesn't feel good, you might try sitting up on something a little taller with your legs out in front of you. We're going to work the shoulders and the neck a little bit, so start out with some big shoulder rolls. Sitting really tall, pressing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then move your shoulders separate. And on your next inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Elbows are open wide. On your inhale, pull the elbows back, let your heart lift. On your exhale, squeeze the elbows together, round your back, drop your head. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. Two more, open. And close. And open. And close. Coming back, elbows straight out from your shoulders. Make big circles with your elbows. As big as you can, of course, never going into pain. Great for the shoulders, great for the lymphatics. Go the other direction. Good. And then release. Give the arms a little shake. Now you're going to take your hands to the side of your head, but you're going to hook your thumbs kind of behind underneath your ears and coming to that base of your skull. And then you're going to pull one side of your head up as you pull the other side down. And then switch. And switch. And you want to feel a little stretch, but of course, not overdoing it. I'm just going to go side to side a few more times. Really pulling up with that top hand to feel that stretch along the sides of your neck. And then coming back, give the arms another shake, and then place the hands towards the floor. Drop your chin to your chest. As you sigh, let your shoulders start to melt towards the floor. Nice and slow, roll your head over to one side, ear comes to the shoulder, and forward into the other side. And we're just going to keep going here a few more times. Relaxing your jaw. All right, and then chin comes back down to the middle, breathe in, and on your exhale, head comes upright. Interlace fingers in front of you, inhale, exhale, push your palms forward, round through your back. And then inhale, press the palms up towards the ceiling. You could always cup elbows here if that doesn't work for shoulders. And then take another breath in, and as you exhale, sweep the arms back behind you, either letting fingertips touch the floor, or if you're able to, clasp your hands behind your back. Shoulders rolling up, back and down, lift up through the heart. Squeeze shoulder blades, big breath in, let it out. And then sweep arms back in front of you, breathe in, exhale, push forward. Inhale, coming back up. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to twist in one direction, opposite hand to the knee, the other hand just gently taps down to the floor. Inhale, back up to center, exhale to the other side. Inhale, middle, exhale, twist. You notice I'm not using my hands to bring me into a deeper twist, I'm just using my core. Now we're going to come back up to center, and as you exhale, we're going to come into the twist. Stay there. Let that hand on the knee just gently keep you where you're able to come in your natural range. Other hand comes to the floor behind you. Inhale, lift up a little higher through your spine. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper without using the arms to crank into this twist. Head is looking over your back shoulder. Drop the chin down to the chest, down to the collarbone. And then bring the head upright. Stay in your twist. Just turn your head to look over the other shoulder. And drop the chin again. And bring the head upright and turn to look over your back shoulder again. Exhale. Inhale, sweep back up to the center and exhale to the other side. Opposite hand to knee just gives you a little support, other hand behind you on the floor. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe release tension, or you might be able to go just a little deeper. Breathe in. Exhale, drop your chin down to the collarbone of your back shoulder. And then lift the chin up. Stay in the twist. Turn your head to look over the other shoulder. And then drop the chin again. And chin comes upright. Look back behind to the back shoulder again. Exhale. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And then exhale, hands come together at your heart. Maybe close the eyes and take a sigh there. Good. Open the eyes, bring your hands behind you and your legs out in front of you. Lengthen one leg out and we're going to cross the other leg over. So the ankle is crossed over the thigh. Now you're going to lean back on your hands so that you don't feel any discomfort or strain in your back. If leaning back on your hands isn't going back far enough, you can go down to your elbows instead. But once you have, I'm just going to turn sideways a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Cross that ankle over, lean back so your spine is straight, and then the long leg, you're going to slide that foot up to the floor. So here's where you might find you need to go back a little further. If you bring the foot in too close to your hips and you find that your hips have to lift up, you've gone too far. So to make it more intense, you can bring that foot in closer to your hip, but make sure it's within your range. Flex that top foot and maybe even bring your heart towards the front leg. And then move your legs side to side. You'll notice as the legs move over in one direction, you feel a little more intensity in that one glute. So you're going to go to that place that feels like the right amount for you. Stay there, take a few breaths. And then lengthen that leg out, uncross the legs, give them a little shake, and then we're going to do the other side. Cross the ankle over, flex the foot, slide the other foot to the floor. Make sure your spine is long. You can go in as close to the hip with your bottom foot as you need to feel the right amount of intensity. You can also move it out. Heart's coming towards the legs if you have that available to you, and then go side to side with your legs. So maybe this is your pose. That's okay. That's okay. You're working with where you are in this moment. And after a few of those side to sides, find the place that feels like the right amount of intensity for you. Stay there and breathe. Good. Lengthen out the leg. Lengthen out both legs. Again, give them a little shake. And then slide your feet back to the floor. Hands are on the floor behind you. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Press the heart up. Squeeze elbows and shoulder blades together. Maybe you're going to stay there, or you might lift hips up. If the hips are up, bring them back down. Keep leaning behind sits bones. Move your knees side to side. Massaging your glutes. All right. And then we're going to come around and work our way up to table. So take a moment if you need to get some padding under your knees or anything else as you're coming into your table position. Once there, Stretch one leg out behind you, tuck toes under on the floor, push back through the heel. Nice strong stretch through the back of that leg. If you want to add a little extra core and arm work, you could bring the other knee in towards your chest. If you did lift that other knee, bring it back down to the floor, and then we're going to lift the long leg up. So when you lift up the leg, make sure you don't lift the hip and turn the toes out. You want the toes to be pointing straight down. Maybe that means you lower the leg a little bit, but you want your hips to stay square. And then you have the option of reaching the opposite arm as leg forward. Get your balance, and we're going to move into some cat-cows here. So you can do just the leg or arm and leg. Breathe in, exhale, knee, maybe elbow come in, inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach out. 2 more of those. In, out. Last one. After you've lengthened out, take a few breaths. And then bring hand down, bring knee down, wag your hips side to side. Moving on to the other side, stretch the leg out behind you, toes under, push back through your heel. If you want, bring the other knee up towards your chest. If you did lift that one knee, bring it back down. Lift the long leg up, toes point straight down, maybe reach the opposite arm forward. Inhale, exhale, elbow and knee come in. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach out. 2 more of those. After you lengthen back out, pause there. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down, and again, wag your hips side to side. Curl toes under, breathe in, exhale, rock hips back towards your heels, inhale, come forward. 2 more of those. Next time you're coming forward, you decide if you want on your next exhale to come up into a down dog, or softer version would be arms lengthen, hips stay up, heart melts. If you come into this position, you might work up onto your fingertips with your palms lifted. Either way, whichever pose you chose, if you have some organic movements that help you get into your full pose, go ahead and work through those. And then come into your full pose and take a sigh. After that, work your way back into child's pose. Knees can be close together, or you can keep big toes together and knees a little wider. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. If you need to, rock side to side. There it is, excuse me. And then come back to center for a sigh. Stay on your elbows as you work your way back up to a table position. Hands are going to come together. Now, if you have anything going on with your shoulders and this isn't going to feel good to you, you're going to skip it. Otherwise, we're going to come forward. Chin comes beyond the fingertips and then push back. If you want a more challenging option, you can do the same thing up in a down dog position on your elbows, and you'll come forward and back. Working into, let's try for 6 of these. I've lost count. Let's do 1 more. Take a breath in, let it out, release down, back to child's pose. Bring the arms down by your sides, turn your palms up, Shoulders relax towards the floor, take a sigh there. And then reach the arms forward again, stay on your elbows, and come back up to table, working into a plank. So if you're needing to, you're gonna do plank on your knees, or you might do plank on your toes. Take a few breaths here, smoothing out your breath. Let's do one more. As you ease your hips down to the floor, release your toes and walk your feet out to about mat width. Separate the hands so your arms are parallel, forearms are parallel. And then scoop the navel in, lengthen out your tailbone, and engage your glutes. From there, pull your heart forward. So navel's in and up, tailbone is long, glutes are working as you pull your heart forward. Shoulders need to be away from your ears. Pull the heart forward, push the base of your skull in a diagonal, back and up. One more breath here. And then ease your way down. Hands under your forehead, take another side here. Wiggle the hips side to side. And maybe bend knees and move your feet side to side in a windshield wiper motion. Lengthen the legs back out. Bring your hands next to your ribs. Press yourself back up to a table. Knees back underneath your hips. Now we're going to do, instead of a cat-cow, which you're welcome to do if you prefer cat-cow, we're going to do kind of a spine wave. So walk your hands forward a little bit so that you're in a plank position on your knees. Breathe in. As you exhale, push your hips back as if you were coming into child's pose. And then inhale, round your spine forward. Shoulders come back over your hands. Exhale, push back. Inhale, round forward. Couple more. Back. Round forward. And we'll do one more. Push back and round forward. After that, push all the way back into child's pose. Slide arms back down by your sides and take a sigh. Now place your hands in your low back. Big breath in, big exhale to engage your core again. And then inhale, sweep yourself up to a knee stand, open through the heart. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. And again, up and down. Release the arms right next to your knees. Roll yourself up. Tuck your toes under and start to work up into a ragdoll. So as you come into your ragdoll, walk your feet out to about shoulder width or a little wider. If your back is feeling at all discomfort today, you're going to keep elbows on your thighs and keep your spine straight, but drop your head. If you're feeling okay here, come into a full hang, knees stay bent. You might go side to side with your body. And then coming back to center, bring your hands to your thighs. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Keep the back of your neck long. Shake your head no. And nod yes. Head hangs again. Deep breath in. Exhale, come up halfway with a flat back. Breathe in again here. And then exhale, roll yourself all the way up. Shoulders go up, back, down. Inhale, sweep arms up. And exhale, hands come to your heart. Close your eyes and take a sigh. As you open your eyes, bring your feet underneath your hips. Yeah. Right here, feet are under hips, shoulders are rolled, back and down, palms are forward, crown of your head is pushing all the way up. Standing mountain pose. Take another side here, close your eyes if you're able to, and just feel your weight. Very gently, not too far so that you fall over, just move your weight side to side a little bit. And then find center, and then the same thing front to back. Don't go too far so that you fall, but front to back. And then find your center. On your next inhale, reach arms up, heart lifts. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Let your hands slide up the legs for a little support if you need to. Exhale, fold down, fingers going back. Inhale, come all the way up. And hands come back to your heart. Close your eyes and take another side. Good. And now inhale up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Fingers go back. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands come together as you lower down, chair pose. So chair pose, scoop the navel in and up, open the collarbones, drop your tailbone. We're gonna come into a little alternating movement. So you're gonna shift your weight to one foot, open the arms out, and reach one leg out to the side. And then lower down to your chair, and shift to the other leg. Woo. And then back down chair, shift. Toes are pointing forward of that lifted leg, down, shift. And one more each side, down, shift, and down, good, and left. And back down to chair, pause there. You can keep hands at the heart, interlace fingers and press the palms up in the diagonal that your torso is making. And then push up, inhale, reach up, exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower, fingers reach back. Inhale, all the way up. And hands come to your heart. And sigh again. Opening the eyes, bring the arms up, and we're going to do a cross crawl to the front of your mat. So you're going to lift one knee up, opposite hand comes over and pushes down. Opposite hand comes over and pushes down. And then switch, push, and push, and work your way up to the front of your mat. Good. Keep going. Good. And then hands together at the front of your mat. Bring your arms down. Find something to focus on in front of you that's not moving. Inhale up to your toes. Exhale, lower down. And up. And down. This third one, see if you can hold it a little longer. Keep breathing. Hands come together, lower down, take a sigh. Eyes open, bring hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower down, fingers reach back. Inhale, all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, lower down, chair pose again. Now, you're going to bring your hands to the thigh of the leg that's closest to me. right up at the top for a little support, and then shift your weight over to that foot and step the other foot back, angling the toes out as the heel comes down. Make sure your front knee is right over the ankle, and then reach the arms up. Back heel's pressing down, scoop your navel in and up. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, bend the front knee, open your elbows out to a goalpost. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend and open elbows. And again, inhale up. And exhale, bend your elbows. One more breath here. Looking forward, bring your hands back to your front thigh, right up at the crease of that hip. Lengthen the front leg, press the ball of the foot down, push the hip crease straight back, keep your spine straight as you hinge forward. You're only going to go to that place where you can keep your spine straight. You can stay right here, or you can start to work your hands down the front leg as long as you don't push down on the knee. You might be able to go to the floor with your hands or even the blocks. Keep your spine really straight if you're having any issues with your back. If not, and it feels comfortable for you, on your next exhale, maybe fold over over that front leg. Notice if your back arch started to drop. Lift it up. Take a breath in, let it go. And then as you start to lift the chest, bend the front knee, hands work their way back to your front leg, push off your back foot, and step up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Come up halfway. Lower back down, reach back, inhale all the way up. Palms together, exhale down to your chair pose. Now, work your hands to the other thigh. Shift your weight onto that foot and step the other leg back. Back heel pushes down, toes are angled out to what works for you. When you're ready, sweep your arms up. Take a breath here. Inhale, lengthen the front leg, arms reach up. Exhale, elbows open back, bend the front knee. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Woo. One more up and lower. Hold here, opening through the front of your chest. Look forward, hands come to your front leg. Right up at the crease of the hip, lengthen that leg out, ball of the front foot pushes down, push the hip back. The other one's working forward a little as you hinge. Stop with that straight spine. You might work the hands down the front leg as long as you don't press on your knee. See how that's feeling for your back. Maybe you're going to stay there. Otherwise, you're welcome to come with me on your next exhale. Fold over your front leg. Back arch lifts. And then bend the front knee. Work your hands back up onto that thigh as you come upright. And then we're going to straighten the front leg and turn your toes, turn your body to face the wide edge of your mat. If you want or you have them available, you might have your blocks just out in front of you so they're handy in case you want them. All right. So from here, toes are pointing forward and just gently move your hips side to side. Yeah. And you're not jamming into it, you're going nice and easy. Just noticing where your edge is. All right. And then coming back to center. Hands stay on your hips. Turn your toes of one leg out. Push hips down, lengthen out through the top of your head. Breathe in, exhale, bend that knee. Stopping right over the ankle. Knee is pointing a line through the center line of your foot. Reach the arms out. Take a sigh. another breath in and out. And on your next inhale, drop the back hand, reach the front arm up. And then exhale, sweep over. Elbow comes to the thigh as you reach the arm up and over. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale into your side angle pose. And keep going, up and over. And one more of those, up and over. Staying there, top shoulders rolling open. Good. Now, you're welcome to be here, or you're going to take your top arm and flip it, bend your wrist, and push. The bottom arm can stay where it is, or you can push through the heel of that hand too. Breathe here. And then come back up, warrior two. Hands return to your hips. Lengthen that leg back out. Press the ball of the foot down. Push your hips down. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt at the hips. You'll feel where you have to stop. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tilt. And again, you're not jamming into it. You're just going easy and feeling where your edge is. This next tilt, we're going to stop. You can stay here, hands on hips, kind of pushing the hips down. Or you can start to work the arms out. If your hand is resting, bottom hand is resting on your leg, keep it soft. You can always go down to the floor or block too. Tune into your breath. If it's been kind of shallow, like mine just was, because that was challenging, you might start to deepen it. Bring it more into your belly. We tend to do shallow chest breathing when it gets a little more challenging. And now looking down, bend that knee and work your way back up, warrior two. Good. Lengthen out that leg, toes turn forward, shoulder rolls. A couple shoulder rolls up, back, and around. All right, hands back to your hips. Turn the other toes out. Push your hips down so you're long through your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, bend that knee. Make sure it's lined up correctly over the ankle. Kneecap pointing through a line through the center of your foot. Arms reach out. Take a breath. After this next exhale, inhale. Reverse warrior, back hand down, front arm reaches up. Exhale, fold over, side angle pose. Inhale, back. Exhale, over. And again, back. And over. Stopping here, lengthen through your spine. Reach through the top arm. Roll your heart towards the ceiling just a bit. Now, push through the heel of that top hand, flip it so that the fingertips are pointing down, and then push. You can do the same thing with the bottom hand, push through the heel of the hand. Breathe here. This is where my breath gets a little choppy, so notice if that's happening to you. If you can't smooth your breath out, maybe you're pushing just a little too much. And then come back, warrior two. Bring hands back to your hips. Lengthen that leg out. Ball of that foot's going to press down into the floor the whole time as you press your hips down too. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt at the hips. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tilt. And up. And this time, tilt. Stay there. You can keep hands where they are, or you can start to reach the arms out. Remember, bottom hand is soft on the leg. If it's resting on your leg, it could float, or it could come down to the block or the floor. Find your breath. And then look down, bend that knee, warrior two. Good, and come up. Toes turn forward, roll shoulders again. All right, Now, adjust the width of your feet if you need to. Turn your toes out. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, coming down, goddess pose. Heels are pushing down, arches are lifting, knees are working back. Scoop in the navel so you don't end up overarching. Breathe here. Bring hands to your thighs. Lower an inch, lift an inch. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Now hands to the inner thighs. Push thighs back, chest comes forward, and keep going. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. And keep going. Now here is where you might want to use a block if you have it handy, or 2 blocks. We're going to reach the hands down to the blocks or to the floor and keep going up and down with your hips. Little movements, nothing big. So your hands could be on a block here, and then lower down. Lengthen one leg out, keep the other knee bent, hips are pushing back. And then stay low, go through center and to the other side. And then go back to your first side. Now the hand of the straight leg is going to stay on the floor. Sits bones keep reaching back. The arm of the bent leg reaches to the sky. And then bring that hand down, low through center. You can walk your hands over as needed. Hand of the straight leg stays down. Arm of the bent leg reaches up. Good, and bring that hand down and come back to center. Pivot on your heels, turn your toes forward. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe in, exhale, fold down. Relax your neck and take a sigh. Good, coming up halfway, bend your knees again, and now you're gonna walk your hands over towards that front foot, turn those toes forward, lift the back heel. So we just worked our way into lunge. And again, you can have hands up on blocks if you need to. Back leg is long and straight, lengthen out through your spine, lift your heart. Now, inhale, let your knee dip down towards the floor, exhale, lengthen it back out. Inhale, bend, exhale, lengthen. One more, bend, and lengthen. You can keep the back knee lifted, or you can bring the back knee down to the floor as we work hands up that front leg. Arms might reach up. You can have hands on the leg or hands on the heart. Breathe here. Sweep hands back down to the floor, and we're going to go to the other side. So you're going to push off your back foot, step it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees slightly and step the other foot back to your lunge. Now, if you come into your lunge and it's not quite how you want it, drop that knee down, back knee down, shift your toes, your front foot forward or back to get things lined up. And then come back up to your lunge. Lengthen through the front of the body. Inhale, dip your back knee down. Exhale, lift it up. Bend, straighten, and bend, and straighten. Now back knee can stay lifted, or you can bring it down to the floor. Maybe walk hands to your front leg as your heart lifts, or together at your heart, or reach all the way up. Breathe here. Hands sweep back down. Back knee's gonna lift up. Maybe you need to do a little rocking to get some momentum. Step forward. Fingers reach back. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your heart. And take a sigh. Good, eyes open. Now we're gonna do just a little movement, a little side bend that also works into our wrists and forearms a little bit. So you're gonna have one hand on your hip, the other hand down by your side, but you're gonna make a fist. And then that fist, you're gonna curl it in towards the inside of your forearm. So you might feel a little wrist stretch already. Keep that wrist curled in as you start to slide your arm or slide that fist up the side of your body. When you get to your shoulder, you're gonna turn it so it comes to the side of your head. Wrist stays curled. Use the other hand on your hip for support. Start to lift the elbow up. So now you're coming into your little side bend. Keep the wrist curled as you straighten the arm towards the ceiling. Wrist stays curled nice and strong. And then start to lengthen, fingers up to the sky. Inhale, reach up just a little higher, and then exhale, bend further. Good, and come up. Shoulders roll. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hand to the hip, other hand makes a fist and curls in. Now keep the wrist curled the whole time as you start to slide the hand up the side of your body. Moving over the front of the shoulder, wrist stays curled, hand by the side of the head. Wrist stays curled, lift the elbow, bringing into a little side bend, nothing too extreme. Wrist stays curled, straighten the arm towards the ceiling. Woo, that part's always intense. Good, one more breath here. And then release the fingers up towards the ceiling. Inhale, stretch up just a little higher towards the ceiling, and then exhale, go to the side. Good, and come all the way up. Roll the shoulders, make your feet a little wider, and move into some easy twists, arms flopping into your body. That little bit of pounding the arms do on the body help just kind of move out all the junk, right? Okay. And then as you come back to center, make some fists, and you're just gonna do a little bit of pounding up and down the sides of your spine. You can go real low and go up as high as you want. All right, and then shake out the arms. Good. Work your way to the back of your mat again. Arms down by your sides, finding your tall mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Now bend your knees. Walk your hands forward into table or down dog. Coming into your pose. If you came into table, then you're gonna work into puppy pose if you don't wanna be in down dog. All right. Couple more breaths here. And then we're gonna work our way into plank. So if you don't like plank on hands, you can do plank on elbows. You can also do plank on knees. Breathe. And then release knees and come all the way down to the floor. Once there, stretch one arm forward and roll onto your side. I'm gonna move these things out of the way so we can see. Okay, so you're gonna be on your side. And we're gonna come up onto your elbow. Your legs are bent and the knees are just slightly in front of your hips. You don't want to be in a total straight line. Knees are just a little forward. Hands on, top hand on the hip. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, push the hips up into a little side plank. And bend. And push up. And release down. Couple more up. And down. And up. And down. This time we're gonna come up, hold there. Top arm can reach up to the sky. Push the hips up even higher. Maybe take your top arm up alongside your ear. And then all the way down onto your side. Bottom arm can support your head. Bend your knees so they come forward a little more than your hips, almost like you're sitting in a chair. Top hand comes behind the back of your top thigh. And then you're just gonna push forward and bend. Push forward and bend, pushing through the heel as you swing your leg forward. Good. One more. And then bend your top knee in towards your chest. Slide that hand down towards your foot. And then bring the leg back. So you want to lengthen out your tailbone, scoop in the navel so you're not pinching into your low back. I have you do this on your side because you have control of where your knee is. You want to feel stretch in the center of your thigh, not at the knee. So if you're feeling it at the knee, you can play with how pushing into your hand with your foot or not, and where the knee is positioned to get to that right spot for your stretch. And then bend the knee, bring it back into your chest. Good. And come back onto your belly. Hands underneath your forehead. Move your hips side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll onto your other side. So once you come onto that other side, back up onto the elbow. Make sure your knees are bent with just a little bit in front of your hips. Top hand on the hip. Breathe in, exhale, push the hips up, inhale, bend, and push up, and bend, up, and release. Last time, come up, stay there. Top arm reaches up, or maybe comes up alongside your ear. Push the hips up strong. Again, make sure you're breathing. And then release all the way down. Bottom arm can support your head. Bend your knees towards the front a little more so you're more like in a chair position. Top hand behind your top thigh. And then push forward and bend. Kick forward and bend. Pushing through the heel as you lengthen the leg out in front of you. Just a few more. Now, as your knee bends this next time, bring it in towards your chest. Slide your hand down your shin towards your foot. Now, you can always do a strap around your foot too if your knee isn't liking this much bend. And then bring the knee back. Lengthen tailbone out, scoop in the navel, and you can again play with the position of where your knee is so you're feeling this in your center of your thigh, not at the knee. Couple of deep breaths. This is a strong muscle group, so we want to give it a little bit of time. One more breath. And then release. Knee back into your chest. And then lengthen legs out, come back onto your belly, and press yourself up. And let's do a little wagging of your hips side to side, or a cat-cow. And then release back to child's pose. And take a sigh there. Roll yourself up. Shift your weight, bring your hips down and your legs out in front of you. Now, we're going to get ready to come down to the floor. So, if you have a belt or a strap or a towel, you want that close by, okay? Hands come behind your knees. Lean back on your sits bones. Open up through your collarbones. Take a big exhale. Again, feel your core engage there, and then maybe bring shins up to a tabletop position. Now we're going to bring hands just to behind one leg. The other leg is going to open and close. Open and close, trying to keep everything else still. few more. If you want it more challenging, you can let go of the leg. And back to center, reestablish your center, reestablish your core. And then move your hands to the other leg, open and close, keeping everything else still. And again, if that's too easy, let the leg go. All right, last one. Hands behind the knees, release the feet. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, heart comes up. Exhale, move it back. And one more. Take a breath in here. And then exhale, roll all the way down. Knees come into your chest. And rock side to side. Coming back to center, place one foot on the floor and then bring your strap or belt or whatever you have handy around the ball of the other foot and reach the leg up towards the ceiling. So you want to reach up high enough so that when you let your shoulders drop down, you get the right amount of stretch. You don't want the shoulders to be up off the floor, let them drop down. Now we're going to stretch that leg. If it's available to you, you could lengthen out the other leg. If you do, you're going to keep it active and the foot flexed. Now breathe in, and as you exhale, move into your full stretch. And then inhale, move out of it. Exhale, move into that deeper stretch and move out. And then come into it. We're going to pause there and just make a mental note of where your toes are, because we're going to see if they change in a second. All right, so now move out of the stretch, so it's not quite so intense. You just have a gentle stretch happening, and now you're going to resist into your strap. So your foot's pushing into the strap with steady pressure. Just one more breath. Now keep the leg where it is, but you're going to let go of that resistance. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, re-stretch the leg and see if where the toes ended up has changed at all. Good. And then come back out. Move your strap into the same hand as foot. Reach the other arm out to a T position. And if the bottom leg is long, bring it back to the floor. Now take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to open that leg out to the side and let the bent knee open in the opposite direction. So the bent knee is acting as a little counterweight as you open the leg out to the side. Look towards the foot of your long leg. And then notice, because that one knee is bent, it's not quite enough weight for the long leg. So use your core to even out your hips. Breathe here. And then on your next exhale, bring the leg back up towards the ceiling and bring the other knee back into the middle. Now switch your strap into the opposite hand as leg. Lengthen out the other leg again. Your free hand, thumb is going to come into the crease of your hip of your long leg, or the lifted leg. Push that hip crease down. So what happens is people always want to let their hips lift up into a twist here. And we're not doing a twist, we're doing an outer hip IT band stretch. So you want the thumb to press the hip down, keep it where it is, and you might need to move out of your hamstrings just a little bit. If you only feel the stretch in your hamstrings, then you need to move the leg away to lessen that. Hip pushes down, look over your shoulder, breathe in, and as you exhale, cross the leg over the midline. And you don't have to go very far, and it can be pretty intense. And then push the outer edge of your foot into your strap. And again, check. I want you to feel it somewhere along the outer part of your leg or hip, not in your hamstrings. So if you're only feeling hamstrings, move the leg away from your face more as you come into this little stretch. Whew. This one's always intense. And then bring that leg back up to the ceiling and just wave the foot side to side. As you release the foot from your strap, hug your knee into your chest and take a sigh. Place that foot to the floor. Bring the other knee into your chest, and then you're going to bring the strap around that foot. Get everything set up, and then we're going to move in and out of your stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, come into maximum intensity. Inhale, move away from it. Exhale, move into it and out. 2 more, in and out. This time we're going to come in and hold it. Make a mental note of where your toes are on the ceiling. And then move out of that intensity. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to resist. Foot into your strap. Steady pressure. Make sure you're breathing as you do this. And one more breath. And then release that resistance. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, re-stretch the leg. Oh, sorry, I forgot to remind you, if you want, you could lengthen the other leg out while you're doing this. But you want to keep the leg long and foot active, flexed. And then move back out a little bit. Strap comes into the hand of the same hand as the leg. Other foot slides back to the floor. Open the other arm out to a T and look over that shoulder. Deep breath in. As you exhale, open the leg out to the side and let the other knee fall open in the opposite direction. So it's like a butterfly position. Now notice your hips are probably not even on the floor. So engage your core and even out your hips. Breathe. One more breath in. And then slowly, gently bring legs back to the middle. Switch your strap into the opposite hand. Lengthen out the other leg along the floor. Now your free hand, that thumb, is going to come into the crease of your the hip of your lifted leg. Push the hip down, it's not going to lift up. Move out of your hamstrings. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, move the leg across your midline. Whoa. And again, it doesn't have to be very far. Push the outside edge of your foot into your strap. Check in, do you need to back out of the hamstrings at all? If so, you can do that. Keep breathing. Good, one more breath. And then bring the leg back up and just wave the foot side to side. As you release the foot from the strap, bring your knee into your chest. And take a sigh. Both knees come into your chest and rock side to side. Good. As you come to center, maybe there's one last pose that you're feeling like you want to do, or one last stretch. It can be anything. Maybe it's a butterfly position, or a happy baby, or a twist. Maybe you want to come into a twist. Whatever it is that you are craving right now to make your practice complete. Take a few moments to move into that final stretch, pose, or movement. I'm just doing some easy side-to-side twists. Maybe you want to do a big body stretch. You decide what would feel really good to you. And after you've finished that final little pose or movement, you're gonna get yourself ready for Shavasana. So make sure you're comfortable. If having legs long isn't comfortable for you, you can have knees bent, feet on the floor. And if you do that, you might let your knees fall in on themselves so that they're propped and you're not having to hold them up. Arms comfortably away from your sides, palms up, or you might even let your hands rest on your belly. You do what would feel good. And then take a few more sighs. With each sigh, soften and melt further into the floor. Letting go completely. Giving your system time to integrate and to rest. The jaw is soft, the lips and the tongue. And soften your eyebrows and your eyelids. Shoulders are relaxed. Low back and belly are soft. Giving yourself over, giving yourself permission to take this time to do nothing. Something we don't give ourselves permission to do very much. And it's a vital, important thing for self-care and health. Letting yourself melt into the floor. The breath moves easily, the way it wants to move. You bring your attention back to your breath and start to deepen it as you become aware of your surroundings. And then take a breath into your belly. Let it go. And breathe in, belly, low ribs. Let it go. Breathe in, belly, ribs, upper chest, biggest breath you can take. And let it go. And start to move your hands and feet. And then go bigger, bringing movement into the arms and legs, or start to move in whatever way would feel good. And then finally, bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Roll all the way over to one side and stop there, taking one more side. Use your top hand to help press you up to a seated position. Bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up, hands together. Exhale them to your heart. And sigh once more. And send a message of gratitude towards your heart center for your practice. I thank you as well for allowing me to share it with you. Namaste.